Hi, Mystery resurfaced here. Today I'm going to explain a film based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II, called Soldier Boy. How's the story goes on, watch ahead. The film starts in Russia, where a family of three sit by the river and enjoying their time. The most youthful of them, Seryozha Aleshkov, shows off to his elder brother and mother about him being on top of a tree, when abruptly German warrior jets fly upward. The mother asks her children to hide away in the hedges rapidly. But, the 6-year-old claims he isn't frightened and hits the jet with a slingshot. Incredibly, he manages to hit the jet and explode them, yet when he looks around, his family is gone. Sergei awakens, scared from the dream and calls his mother. Suddenly someone knocks on his door. Expecting it his mother, he runs towards it, but a neighbor lady comes in scared. She thanks God for keeping him alive and informs him that his mother and brother are dead. The young boy can't understand what she is talking about and needs to remain in the house and wait for his mother. The lady lets him know that the Germans have attacked them and he should run away. All at once, a few soldiers move toward their home. The lady makes Sergei run through the window, but she's shot dead before she can go along with him. The little 6-year-old boy is currently all alone, with no loved ones. As Sergei takes off from the house, he sees his entire village is burning behind him. He calls his mother to no end and runs away from that point, running for some time. He winds up in the middle of the forest. The young boy begins to call his mom to come and get him since he is lost. That evening, he remains in the forest. The next morning, we see him drink water from a river when the German soldiers moves toward him. Sergei, realizing that they are risky, quickly hides inside a tree's underlying roots. He is alarmed when a snake comes close by, however doesn't express a word or take off. Sergei is more terrified of the soldiers than of the snake. The officers eat by the river and go away, after which Sergei takes their extra food and eat it up for the evening. However, before the day's over, the young boy is tired. He hasn't had a proper food in 2 days and has been walking with no objective. He tumbles down as he limps, yet doesn't quit walking while on his way. He sees wild berries and eats them up. However, all at once a blast happens behind him, overwhelming him. The boy gets unsteady and begins to daydream somebody coming behind him. However, even in such circumstances, he stands daring and tells the person he has a rifle and he isn't frightened. He limps forward, but falls senseless. Later, while he is sleeping, 2 soldiers approach him. The scene cuts to the Russian armed force base where Commander Kuznetsov waits for his patrol soldiers. They come in with a young boy who was injured and weak. When the soldiers guarantee they are his ally, the young boy opens up and presents himself. The soldiers laughed when the child shakes his hand with the commander, recommending he introduce himself with. The soldiers feel loving with a small boy and circle him around. They make him drink water and feed him. Even the generally chilly commander deals with the boy. A nurse named Katya dresses Sergei's injuries, and is enchanted by his character too. The boy requested that she draw a tank on his injuries since he needs to be a soldier when he grows up. Indeed, even the injured soldiers talk with the boy and feel lighter. Sergei is intrigued with the commander got in his batch. The commander too responses every one of the young boy's inquiries. Also, lets him play with his honorary pistol. After taking the bullets out, Sergei shows him the tank drawn on his stomach and claims about being a soldier himself. The boy is healing rapidly. The nurse Katya requested the commander let the boy stay with the unit, but he deviates, guaranteeing that it won't be protected. He wants to send Sergei to a shelter. The soldiers spend all their free time with Sergei. He is visited by quite a few people throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their families from far off, and, surprisingly, let him play with their binocular. One day, a soldier goes to the commander to request that he let the boy stay with the unit. The soldiers have grown a nearby association with the boy and consider him their own. His presence takes the heaviness of battle off their mind. Nonetheless, the commander is resolved about sending the boy to the shelter home for his own security. The next day, the enemies assault and many soldiers are hurt. A vehicle comes to bring Sergei to take him to the shelter home. The commander tells the boy and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy thusly embraces him, claiming that he is frightened for the commander's safety. The commander softens in his hug and alters his mind. He requests Sergei to stay with the soldiers as his son. That evening, the soldiers search for little soldier's uniform. For the young boy, they are ecstatic to have Sergei stay with them. The commander wakes Sergei up and gives him the uniform. He wears them and goes around seeming to be a genuine soldier. The other beginning calling him their little soldier boy. As the boy goes around, the Germans send off an air strike on the unit. The soldiers quickly take Sergei to a protected spot and battle the others. The quantity of injured soldiers develops quickly. Sergei needs to make himself valuable, so he carries water to thirsty soldiers. One of them requests that he read a letter sent by his family since he has a bandage over his eyes. The young boy needs to help, yet doesn't have the idea how to read. He takes the letter and starts making up the things composed on it, claiming that the soldier's cow is protected back home. When the soldier says he doesn't have a cow, the others advise him to oblige the story and laugh. He reads every other person's letters in similar design and encourages them. In the accompanying scene, we see Katya and the commander talking. The two appear to be drawn to one another, however don't admit their sentiments. Later, Sergei lets the commander know that he is of the precise position in the contingent and starts presenting himself as one. However, the boy then sees one of the soldiers stationed destroyed from the assault. The commander helps him to offer appreciation to the dead soldier. The following day, he demands the commander give him a mission and is given a task to circulate the letters among the soldiers. He finishes his responsibility effectively and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The next day, Sergei goes somewhat distant from the base with his binoculars as he is playing with it. He sees somebody's leg moving from inside a haystack. He surges back to the unit and informs the soldiers concerning his discoveries. The soldiers are incredulous, however go with the boy anyway. When they reach close to the haystack, they are made aware of to see two German covert agents hiding underneath. The agents are captured, and the boy is applauded for his insight. That evening, the commander showed Sergei the lawful papers for his adoption. He is presently formally the boy's father. Sergei is aware of the commander's affections for Katya. So to reimburse his graciousness, he takes him to admit to her. But the two see her talking with an alternate man and unjustly expect she is keen on another person. The base is attacked by the Germans once more. This time Sergei assists the soldiers energetically by providing ammunitions to the soldiers in the forefront. However, the soldiers there order him to return to the shed since it is too risky outside. When he comes to the shed, he held onto the commander and others, tensed because the phone's connection with the colonel is lost. A soldier is sent off to fix the damaged wires. Sergei follows the soldier, and sees he has been lethally injured. He asks the dying soldier how he can fix the wires and does it without anyone's help. The connection returns and more soldiers are called. The 6-year-old saves everybody's life. Afterward, we see the commander and Katya talking by the river. The commander at last admits his affection for her and requests to be Sergei's mother. Katya is elated, however before she can say anything, a soldier approaches them and gives the commander a letter saying they have been dispatched from the base. The next day, every one of the soldiers leave for their new base, alongside Sergei. However, in way coming, they run over a minefield that brushes off a portion of their vehicles. The commander is harmed, while the group's orderly, who Sergei was close with, dies in the blast. He cries and embraces the commander. They convey the harmed ones with them and proceed with their excursion to their new base. When they at long last arrived at the other base, they meet the commander's leader, the general. He also is dazzled by the boy's desire and salutes the commander for having such a smart boy. The next day, their division is granted a guard's banner. As is the boy, he vows to save his nation when the general gives him his badge. One evening, their base is attacked severely and the commander is caught under the vestiges. Sergei cries for his father and attempts to save him. He calls other soldiers who at last bring the commander out. The next day, Sergei approaches an injured commander. His hands were injured while attempting to save the commander. The boy is currently an indivisible part of the group. He doesn't have a family adjacent to them and moves any place they go in the war. The film finishes of the regiment is seen moving to another base. A voice behind the scenes narrates he even participated in the Stalingrad battle, and arrived at Poland with the soldiers. He is right now known as the world's most youngest soldier ever, and the incredible story of his bravery is presently spread so that the entire world could hear. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.